Hey, welcome to the 10-Minute Daily Reality Check, the best 10-minute podcast in all the land.
That sounds good. How you doing, David?
I'm doing good, man.
Got an afterglow, I noticed.
Yeah, I like the afterglow. You know what's interesting?
What?
Is dating.
Dating is interesting. It's endlessly interesting because it's about human connection. It's about two people coming together and they're bringing all their lust, desires, love, hopes, dreams, that they might make that connection that we all crave all day, every day. That's what dating's about. You know, we're like in our society, we like to make it a small, trivial thing. Oh, it's dating. You can make these dumb dating shows. If you remember the 90s, they're all dumb. You know, it's like vomit everywhere. And, you know, and they trivialize the dating. But what dating really is people exploring themselves, exploring the opposite sex, or exploring, you know, the same sex. But it's exploring other people. And it's exploring, it's all in the hope of feeling connected, feeling that physical connection, that emotional and intimate connection, that spiritual, soulful connection. That's what we're all trying to do on these dates. That's, you know, and sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. What do you have to say about it?
Dating is the opportunity to fall in love.
That's right.
That's the definition of dating. The definition of dating is that you get to go out with somebody who may change your life forever.
Wow.
Think about that, right? Think about that, right? Think about the opportunity. I think people tend to look at dating as an evil thing. Some people do. You know, I don't really enjoy dating that much. I hate dating in Los Angeles. All the men in New York suck. You know what I mean? They all have stories, right?
Yeah.
To me, dating is the opportunity to go out and meet my equal and have a chance to fall in love and meet someone I've never met before and to fall in love like never before. That, to me, is what dating is all about. So when I go into a date, my mindset is I'm excited to sit opposite somebody, share a meal, share a drink, share a smoothie, take a walk with someone who may become my best friend of the female side. Because we all know how, our best friendship and other ones is never going to get in the way of a relationship, right?
Right, yeah.
But I mean, my best female friend, because I think that is something that's really interesting. My comrade, my soul connector.
People really want that.
I want that. And people want that
too, yeah.
And I think it's about being open. And I want to read something that I think is really great that you just sent me.
Yeah, let's hear it.
It's easy to take off all your clothes and have sex. People do it all the time. But opening up your soul to someone, feeling them into your spirit, thoughts, fears, future, hopes, dreams, that's being naked. And that's what dating is all about. Dating is all about being naked.
That's really great. Yeah, I mean, because it's easy to get into a hookup culture, which we have one now.
Yeah, with Tinder.
Yeah, Tinder, whatever, just the general culture. We're gonna, or just a time in your life, you can get into a hookup culture type situation, and that has its place and it's fun. But after a while, it can just become very one-dimensional, and you're in sort of the lust realm. And I'm certainly not trying to be, preachy or anything like that. Enjoy all the realms, actually. But ultimately, this is the most gratifying, what you just read. And that's the place we're really trying to get to.
We want to be seen. You know what? Dating is about making a decision.
Yeah.
About if you're willing to be seen. Are you willing to stand in your authentic truth? Don't talk about being authentic. Actually stand in your authentic truth.
What does that mean, your authentic truth? How is that? It sounds like a buzzword, like gluten-free. What does it mean? Well, come on and get your authentic truth here.
All right, so
what does it mean?
What does it mean?
Yeah.
It means that...
I mean, I know what gluten-free means.
All right,
it doesn't have gluten.
It means if you meet somebody and you think they're beautiful, tell them they're beautiful. If you meet somebody and you're enjoying their company, tell them you're enjoying their company. If you meet somebody and you're out on a date with them and you are excited about all the stuff that they're presenting to you, tell them that. Tell them who you are. Tell them how you feel. Tell them what you want. on the first date.
But what does that mean? I mean, you can't tell them everything, can I?
You know, you can. You can tell them whatever you want. You can tell them whatever you want.
Everything all the time. Do it like, hey, if I'm standing in front of a girl and I feel nervous, so I have to say, I'm feeling nervous.
I feel nervous at this moment.
I mean, but
I think you're beautiful, and I feel nervous.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's the best seductive route or not.
Yeah, but fuck seductive route, because the fact is, too many people are spending so much time trying to learn seduction, instead of learning how to be them. Right? So many men and so many women are trying to learn how to manipulate the opposite sex, or date the opposite sex, or seduce the opposite sex, especially the 5-1s.
The 5-1.
That's what my brother and I used to call people who were a little socially awkward. We call them 5-1. I don't know why. It was just a name. It was just a nickname for it. It was a endearing nickname.
Incorrect.
No, it was just 5-1. It was like, you just... It was stupid. It didn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
But that's the whole point. But that's the whole point. None of this makes sense. If you think about it, if you're socially awkward, then so be it. Be the best socially awkward person you can be.
Right.
If you're somebody who has trouble seducing, or you're always constantly looking for ways to seduce, or words to seduce, or other things, don't think about the words of seduction. Just allow your personality to seduce. The biggest thing in the world that people don't get, people don't understand, is that dating is just representing who you truly are in that present moment, and allow somebody to see you for who you are. It's such a beautiful thing to sit across from somebody and absolutely feel them and tell them you feel them. It's so beautiful to hug them after the date and just fucking feel them drift into you and feel into you and be into you, right? To go home and just think to yourself, wow, I just met somebody really amazing.
And you were really all you. You weren't lying about who you were. You weren't hiding who you were. You weren't lying about your age. You weren't lying about how you feel about things. You were just being raw with this person, and they accepted you for that.
Yeah, you weren't thinking about the moment when you have to tell them that you're not really 47, you're really 58, because you put it on Bumble that way.
Yeah, right.
You don't have to worry the fact that, you've had issues with your kids and you're not scared to say it. You don't judge yourself. When you don't judge yourself, you don't care what other people think.
Right.
So when you accept yourself, you are literally saying to the universe, I fully accept and fully love myself for who I am as an individual.
Well, that's where the authenticity comes from. Well, that core level. That's that core level work that we both work on with our clients. So
with ourselves.
And with ourselves all the time. That's why these conversations are so great, because we have to always work on it with ourselves and remind ourselves of that's the journey. And that's the powerful journey, and that's the fulfilling journey, and the spiritual journey, and the physical journey. It's all in one. So dating, and where we can get our greatest high from, like our most natural high is from what?
Each other.
From each other.
It's the most powerful drug in the entire world is each other.
Is making a connection with somebody
else.
Is making a connection, even if it's just for a brief moment. Even in that brief exchange when you first meet someone, like we have so many times. Even that's very powerful. But then, obviously, the deeper and deeper it goes, where you're deeper and deeper, that's the greatest drug of all time.
It is, because the more you allow yourself to get to your core, the more someone will get to their core in your presence. So the more that you go and actually communicate who you truly are, it's an amazing feeling to sit opposite somebody and see them expose themselves.
Wow.
Because the real drug is feeling safe.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're all looking for. We all want to come home to somebody. We all want to connect to somebody.
We all
want to feel somebody. Right?
Yeah, and somebody who really understands and gets you.
Somebody who understands and gets you,
supports you. I've certainly been in relationships where I had some level of that, but at one point, the person didn't get me. Didn't like my humor, after all. Didn't really get it,
Didn't understand you fully.
You didn't understand me, or didn't want to, or whatever,
Or maybe it was the way you presented yourself from the get-go. Yeah. So here, if you present, this is what authenticity is, and we're going to leave them at this, okay? Mm-hmm. Authenticity is radical, we talk about radical authenticity and radical honesty and other things, is to fully present who you are, naked, raw, standing right in front of them, almost like you're naked, fully in front of them.
Right.
You're not worried about what you say. You're not worried about offending them. You're not agreeing with them. You're not trying to seduce them. You don't want anything from them. All you're doing is presenting exactly who you are in that present moment, allowing them to make a decision whether they want to move forward or not. You're not convincing them to move forward. You're not manipulating them to move forward. You're actually at peace with who you are as a man or who you are as a woman. In those moments, someone can see you for exactly who you are. Not who they want you to be, but who you are. And when you're honest and you tell somebody you want a relationship, or you can picture making love to them, or you can talk to them and tell them you want to fucking taste every inch of them, you're saying that based on how you really feel, and they're really feeling it. You're not using words, and I think that's the problem with a lot of men especially. A lot of men are trying to seduce, and they're not understanding that the words you use need to be authentic words. That's what authenticity is all about. It's not memorizing a skit. It's not memorizing a script. It's not memorizing a routine.
Yeah.
So a lot of that going on. So when you're telling a woman you want and desire them, you think they're beautiful, it has to come from the heart, because a woman feels that. And as a man, it's up to you to lead them down that path. So to me, the greatest, most powerful drug at all is human-to-human connection. If you think about when you and I are creating and we're podcasting and we're talking, we get high off of our conversations. Here's a thing. We'll listen to our podcasts and laugh at ourselves.
That's true. Because we are pretty funny.
We are pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, we are funny, and we're being raw. That's why, because it's an authentic moment that was captured here, and we get to listen back to something that was just like spontaneous and authentic.
Well, yeah, and then sometimes we'll look and go, God, we were just a little. Remember, we were a little controversial that day, but that doesn't matter, because we are what we do.
That's how we felt in that moment. I mean, a lot of the way we would deliver stuff is raw, and it's how we feel in that moment, and we're very expressive, which is unique, because a lot of people aren't expressive, and everything's a contrived. What's the right word? It's sort of a calculated move. Everything's a calculated move. Their personality's calculated, how they get other people. So it's sort of a manipulation of everyone they know. They're manipulating them. Everything they do is in order for a desired effect of manipulation. Where we really are, both of us super present, and we're all in the moment.
Well, think about this. A lot of people at podcasts always have to have guests on. Why? Because they're not that interesting to begin with.
That's true.
So the fact of the matter is, they have to have guests on, because the guests are always more interesting than them, right? If you look at some of the best radio DJs out there, Howard Stern, you look at like Ryan Seacrest, you look at like some of the most amazing, go back to Imus in the Morning.
Dick Clark.
Go back to Dick Clark. These guys didn't have
guests.
Right.
They had guests.
They had guests.
Sam Kinison.
Right, but they had guests, but they also spent the first couple hours just talking.
Just riffing, yeah.
Well, yeah,
just riffing.
Well, riffing because they were interesting.
Right.
And that's what I think a lot of people follow a podcast formula. Right. We must have a guest. And if you think about it, sometimes if you listen to other podcasts, it sounds like a really bad date. Yeah. And not a really good date.
Yeah.
So to
be honest, I look at a lot of podcasts. I'm like, wow, that looks really interesting. But I listen to them, and they just kind of meander on, and they're boring, even when the interesting person's on them. So,
well, we're done meandering.
All right, we're done meandering.
So you know what? The best drug of all is the human to connection. So connect with somebody today.
And the way and the point of this whole podcast is the way to connect even deeper is for you to get more and more raw, more and more authentic in the moment, and do it as David Wygant would say: if you're not fucking it up, you're not doing it right. For more self-help that doesn't suck, come on back tomorrow.